how are you? Welcome to episode 6 of the Parenting with Ease series. And today's episode is a little bit different because I'm not going to share a story with you, but I want to reflect on something I heard in a podcast that I listened to today. It was a podcast with Dr. Shefali Taberi about conscious parenting. And it was really interesting, and I actually recommend that you listen to it. And even though I see some things a bit differently than she does, I've got a lot from the podcast and I reflected on things that she said. And there was especially one thing that I could really hear deeply. And it was about being present with a child versus reacting to our unconscious expectations. So let's say that a child, for instance, is misbehaving, maybe in a supermarket. And if you are fully present with yourself and with your child, usually it's quite straightforward, quite clear to you what to do, how to respond in this situation. But it's also likely that this situation can bring in you a lot of your own unconscious fears or unfulfilled needs and desires. So maybe as a child, you were criticized a lot by your parents, maybe in a not very loving way. And then in that supermarket, your mind goes towards thinking what the other people would think about me. Yes, maybe they are criticizing me now as not a good parent. You start to criticize yourself, and suddenly you have so much thinking that it is difficult for you to be really present and respond adequately in that situation. Another example could be that maybe uh, you are telling something to your child and the child is ignoring you. They are off playing or they are just not paying any attention to what you're saying. And perhaps you feel like a big pain in your heart in that moment. And you feel ignored and maybe you get very angry or you feel disappointed or rejected. And again, in such situation, perhaps you are not really responding to what is happening right now, but you are responding to a lot of thoughts that came up in you that have to do with your expectations again, that the child would somehow heal you or fulfill the needs that were not fulfilled in you when you were a child. So perhaps and this is innocent and unconscious, but perhaps you want to feel loved. When the child gives you attention, maybe you feel loved. So you expect the child to give you attention, and when they are ignoring you, a lot of thoughts, unconscious thoughts come up about not being loved, about not being respected, about not being seen or significant. And you get angry, and it looks to you like it's the child, it's the behavior of the child. But it's not, it's actually what is coming up in you. I personally find it very helpful to reflect on it. And in such moments when we have a strong reaction and we are about to react and maybe sulk or yell at the child, it's very helpful to ask ourselves, am I responding to what is happening here? Am I present with myself? and just seeing clearly the situation? Or am I actually responding to a lot of messy stuff that is coming up in my head? And it just looks like it's coming from the child, but it's not. And it's not to make ourselves feel bad or necessarily run to a therapy or anything like that. It's rather to be aware what is really happening. Because when we realize that something is coming up in us and it's not coming from the child, it's coming from our thoughts in the moment, we settle down. We are less likely to react in a way that is not good for us, not good for the child. And we become more present and we regain our clarity. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it sparked a reflection or an insight in you. And feel free to share or to ask questions. I'll be happy to get in touch with you. Have a wonderful day or evening, wherever you might be. So, and see you soon again. Bye bye.